Alright guys, I've just picked my GQ Patrol up from the engineers. Duke's wanting me to throw the ball, but yeah, just picked my GQ Patrol up from the engineers. It's got the LS in it. I have a list of things to do to get this thing engineered, so I'll read the list and yeah, we'll start working through the things. It's actually a bigger list than I thought, but it's all just little sort of tidying up stuff. So first on the list is the cat converter. It doesn't have a cat, it needs one. I've got a cat of a 6 litre LS2 that my brother's going to help me modify, and we'll put that in, so that shouldn't be a drama. The rear tyres extend outside the wheel guards to fit wider flares similar to cover the full width of the tyres. That's a given. It's like a roadworthy. It's like 10-20 mil down the side of the car, so I'll just get some rubber and put that over there. I have to fit a cap on a scrader valve on the left side of the fuel rail. I don't know what that is, but I'll find a cap for that. Replace the fuel feed hose. It's cracked, so that's easy. It's like 200 mil of hose there. Fit clamps to the radiator overflow. That's like a 5-second job. Secure the cables for the winch so they're not flapping about, and provide some sort of sleeving protection where they pass through the front of the sheet metal so they don't get damaged. So that's pretty easy. I can just cable tie them back, put some conduit over it through there so they don't get damaged. That's pretty straightforward. The headlights aren't ADR compliant, so it's got those LED headlights, aftermarket headlights in it. When I bought the car, it came with the standard ones, so that should be pretty straightforward to just swap them out. Remove bits of steel on the chassis, so I've just got to get the grinder on the chassis rails, clean that up, and that all should be good. They just want some information on the fuel tank, so I'll have to find the information, and the bolts in it aren't big enough and they don't have nylock nuts on them, so I'll just put some new bolts in the fuel tank. There's all sort of little bits and pieces. The fuel filter at the rear of the body doesn't have a mounting bracket on it. It's just in line with the fuel hose. Fuel filters, yeah, I just said that. And the fuel hoses are just like cable tied up to things, so I have to take the cable ties off, put some P-clips on them, so that should be pretty easy. The surge tank in the back has a custom bracket that the guy welded up. It just sort of goes down and flat like on a 45 like that, and I just have to weld some like bracing on that to make it stronger, so that's another job for my brother. It's got the push lock speed flow fittings on the surge tank. He just wants hose clamps on them for safety. You don't need hose clamps on them, but hose clamps are like 50 cents, so I'll just bang some hose clamps on them. And then just the engine bay wiring needs to be tidied up. So it's a bit of a list, but it's all not really too bad. And it says, one thing I forgot is the power steering lines hit the alternator, but the alternator's down low, so I want to move the alternator to the top anyway. I literally just got off the phone to Mark's Fall Drive, and I've ordered a bracket which moves the alternator up the top, so that's going to be going on, but they said it's like a week or 2 week wait. I want to try and knock this list over before that and get this done before that. So I might try. The engineer said I can move the power steering lines out of the way, so I've got a 10 mil clearance, and then it should be fine to pass. So if the alternator relocation kit doesn't rock up before that, I'll just move the power steering lines out the way, get it engineered, and then after it's done, I'll be moving the alternator anyway. So here's some time lapses, and we'll see if we can knock some things off this list. Here with this surge tank, I've got this weird bracket that's holding the surge tank up there. What the engineer wants is just a 25 mil plate welded across the side like that for some extra strength. So yeah, I'll rip this surge tank out and weld that on. These two holes are the holes that the surge tank bolts to, and I've just put a hole in each corner. I've just piloted these. I'm going to go another size bigger for a drain. So if that's sitting like that under the car and I'm going through mud and stuff, I don't want the water to pool up and eventually rust it out. So I'll put a hole on each corner for drainage, then I'll paint it. This is a cat I've got off a 6-litre VE. So it usually comes out there and there's a flange, and then the pipe comes up the top and up to the headers. My brother has cut this end off and switched that pipe around, welded it back on, and he's cut this all out so we can get a 2.5-inch pipe exactly in there. So we'll weld all that up, and then I've got an inline cat, and then we'll just cut the exhaust out and weld her in. So that's all done. I'm glad I've knocked this list over. I'm booked in at the engineers, so I'll take that back and see what they say. Should be all good. Everything I've spoken to him on the phone, he reckons it's all fine, but I'll let you know in the next video how that goes. But yeah, I've removed the alternator with a Marks kit. That's done. Cleaned up all the wiring. The engine bay looks so much better now. So I'm really happy with that. Like, all this stuff I had to do, I should have been doing anyway, which is really good. So, you know, it's not like a waste of time. So yeah, all done. And yeah, in my next video will be the car will be in my name, be fully engineered, ready to go, and I can actually start doing some stuff to it. So I've already bought a snorkel, some drawers, dual battery setup, some camping bits and pieces or whatever. So that'll be the next video. So if you want to see what happens in the next one when I can actually start modifying these things, make sure you subscribe, leave a thumbs up if you like it, and yeah, see you guys on the next one.